What's up, everybody? It's your boys, AB and Jaboozle. Welcome to the Beyond Mobile Gaming Podcast. Welcome to the first episode of 2024, the brand new year. Thank you so much for checking out this podcast. We're going to talk about some really cool topics, things pertaining mobile gaming, gaming in general, and some crazy stuff going on in the world. And hopefully you guys find these topics interesting. Again, as I mentioned, we are joined or co-hosting with Jaboozle, the legend. The GOAT is on the road to 25,000 subscribers. Show this man some love. Support this dude. Let's get him to 25K. Now that we're in 2024, we got to get him to like 50K. 50K sounds like a good goal, right, Jab?
Hey, I'll be happy with 25. But yeah, guys, that was an excellent intro. The first one of 2024. Hopefully the first of many. We have a bunch of topics for you guys, as always, some mobile gaming related, some just in general, gaming and stuff, some outside of that kind of stuff. We did hear about Miami apparently being taken over by aliens, which we're going to get into later on in the podcast. But yeah, we got a bunch of topics for you guys. And did you want to start it off or should I?
If you already got the COD mobile drama stuff, I think that would be a good place to start. There's a lot.
For sure. Yeah, there's a lot of COD mobile drama happening right now. So let me go ahead and make sure I know how to share my screen. Okay, it should be going. So we have a couple things for COD mobile drama. Both of them surrounding Hawksnest, which, if you guys didn't know, is one of the biggest Call of Duty mobile content creators. And basically, he actually called out a fellow content creator of his by the name of SONHO, which I'm sure most of you guys have heard about too. SONHO, I guess, based off the allegations of Hawksnest, it seems like SONHO might have been faking some giveaways on Twitter. In regards to battle passes and the new mythic skins in COD Mobile and stuff. And I guess Hawksnest noticed it and actually called him out publicly on it. So it is going to be a little bit difficult to show SONHO's tweets because I'm pretty sure he deleted all of them. But basically, like I already mentioned, SONHO, I guess, has been sending out tweets being like, I'm going to give out, the new mythic skin or whatever. And then very conveniently, no one has ever really came forward being like, I won the skin, or thank you to SONHO for the skin or whatever. And I guess Hawksnest noticed this and he went ahead and called him out on it. And yeah, it's kind of crazy. This is one of the things too. Like, I guess this all really started with SONHO saying he was going to give away the Mythic Siren skin. Is that what it's called from COD Mobile?
Yeah, that's the newest one, the Mythic Siren.
Yeah, so I guess he tweeted this out on the 6th of January originally. And then on the 7th, he tweeted it out again saying he was going to give it out. And I guess someone responded to him being like, did you already choose a winner for the first one? Or like, why are you saying this again? And SONHO actually admitted that the first one was fake and that the second giveaway was going to be the real one. Except the problem is that, the first one still got him, attention and likes and followers and things like that. So he essentially admitted to faking the first Mythic Siren giveaway. And now I guess was saying like this one is going to be for real, whatever. And I guess this is probably what tripped Hawksnest up and what got him investigating. And he started like bringing stuff up, like as we can see here. This is from like December.
Hawks went and got the receipts, dude.
Yeah, like SONHO, I guess, in December said he was giving away the new Mythic Growl skin, and Hawksnest bringing all that stuff up, being like, did you pick a winner for this one? And SONHO said apparently he did, but it was on a live stream, so I guess that's why he didn't really come through with like any proof or anything. It's probably hard to find out where you gave it out in like a 5-hour live stream or whatever. But yeah, that was really interesting. Something really interesting about this in particular, this giveaway right here. Apparently, SONHO actually stole this in-game screenshot for his giveaway because I don't remember if it was said here or where it was, but I do know. I'll see if I can find it in a bit. But basically, Godsley actually, who's another huge Call of Duty mobile content creator, Godsley came out and said that this is actually his screenshot
No
that
way.
he posted when he, yeah, like he said this is his when he, and this is the one that he used when he announced that he was going to be giving away the skin. And I guess Sonho just like screenshotted it or saved it or whatever, and then announced that he was going to be doing it, and then used the screenshot without informing Godsley or anything like that. Which is kind of weird, you know. Especially when you're over here admitting that you faked at least one giveaway. Um, but yeah, that was something that I saw that was really funny. And yeah, they basically just went at it. And let me see if I have it in my bookmarks. Maybe there was someone that actually managed to get Sonho's tweets before. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay, so this guy actually managed to screenshot Sonho's tweets before he actually deleted everything. And so Hawksnest basically was like, you know, I see you're copying other people's giveaways tweets. You're dodging when people are asking for proof when they're legit. You have oh, I'm so sorry. He asked
let
for
that play.
any
Let
proof.
that play. That was fire.
And so he basically told him, like, you know, you're copying people's giveaways. Sonho always tweets out that he's giving away the same thing when Ferg tweets out. So Ferg will announce, like, I'm giving out a battle pass, or I'm giving out the mythic skin. And then shortly after, Sonho will follow and say the exact same thing and stuff. So Hawksnest is calling him out on that, and then saying, like, people, you know, you're dodging the question when people are asking for proof. So do you have any response to that? And Sonho responded to him saying, check Discord, you man-child. Instead of providing any type of proof or anything like that. Hawksnest then responded to that saying, you DM'd me calling me annoying as fuck and to hop off your dick and to stop trying to farm clout off of you. I'm not going to DM back in Discord. I'd much rather sit here on Twitter and farm a couple hundred impressions off the two-time world champ. I guess he's taking a little jab at him at the whole farming Twitter impressions thing that Sonho seems to be doing for these fake giveaways. And he responded again, saying, bro, you're a grown-ass man who's been here since the OG days. What even happened to you? And then Hawksnest basically saying he values the perception of his peers, community. He has no fear calling stuff out that doesn't align with his values. And anyways, back to the main point. Do you have a recording of you DMing any of the winners? You DM me a screenshot that you send money to your agent, I believe he said. And then Sonho once again dodges the whole, you know, provide some proof that someone has won one of your giveaways. And Sonho just goes, you got me, cancel me. We're done here, guys. I'm going to be dropping an apology video soon. Blah, blah, blah. And then Hawks basically says, like, are you the two-time COD Mobile Creator World Champ or a boxing champ? Because you're dodging all of these these allegations and stuff. And from what I understand, Sonho never responded with any actual proof that people have won his giveaways in the past. But what he did do is he went on like a giveaway spree, I guess, to show that, you know, he is legit in his giveaways and he's like charitable and stuff. So I can probably pull it up on his account. He just started, like, people were leaving comments in his tweets and he was just completely like send me your PayPal, I'll send you $10 and things like that. And like he started reposting. I guess he actually did give away some mythic sirens after the fact, and then so people started to say, you know, thank you and stuff. So he just started reposting it. But it's really important to know that this all came after Hawksnest called him out on the whole fake giveaway and stuff. So it is kind of weird because he, you know, he dodged the question. Yeah, like he dodged it. He didn't provide any proof of previous winners. And then after the fact, he just goes on like a giveaway spree and starts like making sure that people see on his timeline that, you know, he's giving stuff away. And I don't know. It's a really weird situation. I have noticed that, you know, on my timeline, I'll see Ferg is giving away something, and shortly after, Sonho will have the exact same tweet, like almost word for word. And, you know, obviously I don't enter these giveaways, so I don't know if they're legit or anything like that. But it is very interesting that he himself did admit that he faked at least one mythic siren giveaway. And then on top of that, he couldn't provide any type of proof as to his previous giveaways, if anyone's ever won. So yeah, this whole situation was really weird, and I guess he's been getting cooked online since. But yeah, do you have any thoughts on this?
Yeah, dude, the whole thing is crazy. A couple things that you well, for one, I don't know what's up with Hawksnest. I don't know why he took it upon himself to be that guy. He said he values the perception of his peers and whatnot, and I guess you got to give him credit there. But if he's the only one that's calling everybody out, I mean, I don't know. It just seems kind of weird. There might be a lot of behind the scenes stuff going on between all the CODM content creators because I thought they were a pretty tight knit circle, and so I don't know why he wouldn't just hit him up in the DMs and he'd be like, "Hey, bro, you know you're my homie. We're basically in the same market. We have the same partners, the same sponsors. Like, I'm not gonna call you out in public, but like, did you ever find a winner? Do you need help with that? Like, we're like in the same boat." But like he's trying to drag another fellow content creator down, which I think is hella weird. Like, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of like a weird take seeing it from Hawks. Not that I don't see Hawks as like like a moral man, but I mean, why is he taking this moral stand? I don't know. It just feels it seems a little weird. And then the other thing you mentioned, how like Sonho repost tribe or repost Ferg's like post word for word. I've seen like long ass threads of all of these guys just like copy pasting each other's messages over and over and over again. And it's like, okay, this is just something that they do. It's like their own little like troll, little inside joke. Like iFerg will tweet something, then Sonho will like copy paste it, and then Godsley will copy paste it. And then it just becomes like this long thread of them just
Yeah.
copy pasting things to each other. And it's like, okay, is this all a joke? Like, or is only the iFerg one real and everybody else is just trolling? But they're all like, farming impressions. They're all getting the likes. They might fool a couple kids here and there to sign up for a fake pretend giveaway. And I don't know. It's all very weird. I don't get involved. I think I fell for one of Godsley's giveaways. I don't follow none of these guys. I don't like Godsley, Bobby. They pop up on my timeline because we're all in the like the COD M circle of like content. But like I don't follow them. I don't care what Godsley has to say. But he was giving away a red magic phone, and I was like, well, I guess I'm signing up. So I followed him and I retweeted, but I'm gonna unfollow him as soon as I can. As soon as he finds a winner for that red magic, I'm unfollowing. It's just weird. It
Yeah.
would be because like seeing Hawks go after Sonho, to me it has the same feeling as if he were to go after iFerg or Godsley or Bobby, because I consider them all being the same like circle of content creators. And it's just
Yeah.
strange. I mean, it's good if he did cause like something positive to come from it. He called out his boy, and then his boy, came through with giveaways. But it is funny that he didn't show proof until after he got called out. So maybe he was just getting lazy. Maybe they're just, maybe it's an all and like a little, I don't know. Maybe it's all orchestrated between all of them. I don't know. I don't know what this helps besides, I guess, just making Twitter a little bit more exciting for some people. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Promise me, Jeb, me and you will never get that cringy.
Yeah, no, I think I would have like the if I did see like you or like one of the YouTube homies like, tripping a little bit, like yeah, I would definitely kind of do that in private. Um, it's just a little, yeah, it's just a little weird to see like all of it. I think it's weird because this is not the perception that I think most people have of Hawksness in the first place. Like he's, for the most part, at least for me, like he seems like someone who kind of keeps to himself and kind of does his own thing. So to all of a sudden kind of come out and be calling people out, it is a little out of character. But as someone who loves drama and who loves to see people get cooked, I'm a fan of it. Like W to Hawksnest, but yeah, if it were me personally, and if it were like, let's say you were in Sonho's position, obviously you would never be because you actually do follow through with your giveaways. But yeah, I would definitely be like, yo, bro, like let's choose a winner. People are starting to ask like where's the giveaway at and stuff like that. But yeah, it is a little weird. I actually found the what I was mentioning, the Godsley tweet. When Hawksnest was like, "Did you already pick a winner for this one?" He responded to me like, "This is actually a screenshot that I took in game and was used for the first version of my giveaway tweet. You can see my HUD in the screenshot. He must have immediately downloaded it and tweeted it right after mine went live," which is very interesting. That's like a weird move in my opinion from Sonho to do. Why not just take a picture of your own mythic growl? You know, it's a little weird to rip it off of someone who's deemingly, you know, a friend of yours and in the same circle of people. Um, After this whole situation, though, after Hawksnest called him out, and after I guess Sonho tried to, you know, act like he was like above the drama or whatever, he actually went on his alternate account on Twitter and tweeted out about it, but he actually deleted those tweets. But I knew he was going to delete those tweets, so I actually downloaded them. And
Oh, let's go.
yeah, so I saw these, dude, and as you can see, like when I screenshotted it, I'm sharing my screen, right? Oh, it's
Uh,
not. It's not the.
you'll probably have to share that other window.
Yeah, let me go ahead and start a new one. Sorry, guys, I'm like an old man when it comes to navigating Discord.
Jab with the online historian.
Okay. Okay, so this one is the first one. This is this person here, Berg CEO. This is Sonho's alternate Twitter account where he usually, I guess, is like a little bit more you know, out there and stuff. He doesn't have to worry about like any branding or anything like that because his name is not really on there. But anyway, I screenshotted this 2 minutes after he tweeted it. I think I checked back like 5 minutes after and it was gone. So he tweeted this out and then deleted it very fast. But basically he said Sonho versus Hawks. There is no beef. I got dragged into it, doing my own thing, grinding, working, busy. Motherfuckers on Twitter just want entertainment. I get it, but there's no beef when I don't feel like there's beef. It's just pure annoyance when people make it seem like we are. And that wasn't the only one. He followed up with that afterwards, saying, "This is gonna do me a favor. Utilize the spotlight to regrow. I had hashtag partner tweets for 3 months and needed it. I'm not. I think that's a reference to his arena breakout contract. I'm not sure, but he says it's not that deep. Don't expect me to stir the pot. Motherfuckers acting like I've murdered someone. It's a one-sided beef. I'm not interested." So to me, I kind of interpreted this as like him thinking like he was kind of above the controversy, you know, and like he wasn't gonna really he didn't care, like essentially. In my opinion, though, that's kind of just like the perception that he wants people to have of him because he immediately deleted these tweets afterwards, so he couldn't even stand by what he said. And then on top of that, he went on that giveaway spree, I guess, to show like, look, guys, like I am charitable. I do, you know, give away things and stuff. So to me, this is someone who wants people to think that he stands on business, but it's not someone who actually does it.
Right. He still had to make
but
the
yeah,
moves to save face, you know, and like, and he did them all right after getting
exactly.
called out. So it's a bad look for sure. Bad look for him, I think.
Yeah, it's just such a weird thing. If even if he wasn't like intentionally, like you said earlier, when you see all of these guys copying each other's like tweets and stuff like that, like giveaway tweets and all that, it is kind of hard to tell like whose is real, whose isn't, who's being serious and stuff like that. But regardless of if he was like, if he did have a malicious intent and he was faking giveaways just for followers, or if he was simply like trolling or whatever, it's still a really bad look. Like you're a guy with over 100,000 subscribers. You're a guy that people look at and think like, you know, this is a huge content creator and they've got connections and they've got contracts and agencies and all this stuff. Like you shouldn't be, you know, trolling and getting people's hopes up that they're gonna win this battle pass or this skin or whatever it is just because, you know, you want to troll for some followers or whatever. Um, so yeah, it was a really weird situation. I don't think that Sonho will be doing that in the future. It obviously brought a lot of heat down on him, and even now his own, I guess, friends and fellow content creators are even calling him out on it. So we'll see how he actually goes forward. But this is just one of two situations that Hawksnest has been involved in when it comes to drama. This dude, I like we were talking about before the stream. We don't know if he's bored. We don't know if he, you know, he's kind of just like screw all these guys. Like I don't want to be friends with you guys anymore. Like we don't know what's going on.
Vigilante
But
justice.
yeah, this he's turned into Batman or something because he was not done with Sonho. He didn't want just, you know, he didn't want Ferg Jr. He wanted the big one. He wanted Ferg himself. So he went after he went after Ferg apparently today too. And honestly, this one though, this one was much more tame in my opinion. This one's probably like more of an exaggeration from Ferg's part. But anyway, this tweet here kind of starts off the. Oh, let me go ahead and screen share again. Sorry, I guess I'm old. Um, okay, so this tweet here
You're so young,
is
dude.
this. So this thing is kind of what started the whole controversy. Apparently there's a new sniper in Call of
the
Duty Mobile,
the
the
tundra.
LW3. Yeah, the Tundra. And I guess it's sort of a thing when a new weapon drops, everyone's racing to be number one on the leaderboards with that weapon. I've seen people like Hawksnest tweet out that they're number 4 right now. I've seen Bobby tweet out saying that he's streaming until he hits the leaderboards for this gun and stuff. And Ferg is also someone who regularly tweets out like I'm number one with the Grow, or I'm number one with the Striker, or whatever it is. Um, and so I guess we can, yeah, this one here is one of his more recent ones where he tweeted out, "I'm the number one Groza player in the world." And so this is something that he regularly does, is he races to get to number one with a particular gun. In this situation, though, with the Tundra, with the new sniper, he did not hit number one first. It was actually a few different random people that hit top 3.
Goku.
And
Goku
yeah,
69.
Goku himself. And Bobby tweeted out basically saying, at this point, I don't think grass would even touch them, kind of poking fun that these guys probably were grinding for many, many, many hours to actually get this position on the leaderboard. I thought it was kind of, hypocritical a little bit, because he later on goes to stream, like his stream was literally titled like "not stopping the stream until I'm on the leaderboards for the Tundra" or whatever. So it's kind of weird to poke fun at people being like, you don't have a life for getting top on the leaderboards and then streaming to try and get on the top of the leaderboards. It's kind of weird. And yeah, this whole thing kind of started a big debate, I think, because people saw that these randoms got top 3 with this gun, and apparently they're all battle royale players. And I guess I don't really know the ins and outs of COD Mobile, if I'm being honest, but I guess this gun was not available in multiplayer, but it was available in BR in ground loot. So you had to be lucky enough to like find it on the ground or whatever, and then you could essentially start climbing these leaderboards. And I guess that's what these guys did. And people were starting to say that it was unfair for the multiplayer players because they couldn't start, grinding the leaderboards because this gun wasn't available to them. That's kind of what got Ferg into this whole controversy, I guess, where basically someone had tweeted out, I have it in my liked somewhere. Just one sec. Sorry, guys. Again, very old.
Hey, what that monkey doing?
This was so funny. I don't know where you found this, but this is he's so like he's just
so unbothered.
Okay, I think this is in regards to it. Yeah. Okay, so I guess this person had saw what Bobby tweeted out, and they essentially tweeted out the same thing, but defending multiplayer players, saying 3 people have gotten the number 1 with Tundra before the battle pass has even been released. COD Mobile needs to fix this ASAP. It's not fair for multiplayer grinders like Ferg. And then this dude here, John, tweeted out, "It is completely fair. I can't agree with this take. Getting mastery in BR just by using ground loot is actually way more difficult than using the gun in multiplayer. We should appreciate these guys who got it already, giving some recognition to these guys who actually got to the top of the leaderboards, just randomly finding these guns in BR." And Ferg took it upon himself to respond to this, being like, "This is the worst take ever. Both multiplayer and battle royale should get at the exact same time." This tweet here is kind of what Ferg has been getting not in trouble for, I guess, but this is what's causing him a lot of the controversy right now. And I'll explain right now. But Hawksnest responded to Ferg with this, basically saying that he disagreed, and that he basically just disagreed with Ferg's take that these guys, I guess, should not get recognition because they got it the way they got it. And Hawksnest said, everyone has the same chance to grind, really not at all different from grinding a beta for number 1 when the game drops globally. I can understand wanting COD Mobile to change it, but the grinders that got it still deserve their props, and it's definitely fair. Arguable, people paying to upgrade a battle pass to get a head start is more unfair, as now financial well-being plays a role as opposed to just raw effort. I guess Ferg, based off this clip that I can play right now, I guess Ferg took offense to this last part here, where Hawksnest just points out that like, you know, it's unfair that people can buy the battle pass and immediately get the gun versus people who can't. And for some reason, Ferg interpreted this as Hawksnest saying that Ferg like doesn't like free to play players or something. I don't know what Ferg was thinking honestly, but um, oh no, it's not. The video's not playing.
Come on, baby, you can play.
Okay, it's just loading.
Come on, baby. Come on, Google Fiber Internet.
Nah, dude, this is Spectrum. It's garbage.
Dude, none of my videos play.
It's not working.
I do agree with Hawks
well,
though. I think he's got some good takes there actually.
yeah. I don't really know why so many people are against his take, because I thought it was pretty like chill. Like I thought it was like, yeah, like he's making, you know, a point. But anyway, in the video, apparently, Ferg responds to Hawksnest and what he said about the whole you know, it is fair and all this stuff. And I guess Ferg basically was like, for some reason, this last statement where he brings up the people being able to upgrade a battle pass to get a head start is more unfair. Ferg interpreted that, sorry, as Hawksnest is saying Ferg does not like free to play players. I don't know why Ferg interpreted it that way, but he did. And he kind of started ranting on it because I think he poked fun at Hawksnest, saying that he tries to be like an intellectual or something. I don't really know. But this is what kind of got Ferg into, yeah, like it got Ferg into like some heat. And then at the same time, I guess Ferg blocked this guy, John, because John tweeted out afterwards being like, so it turns out Ferg blocked me because I had a different opinion than him. And so let's see if yeah, so this guy just started tweeting out all the stuff that Ferg was doing. Ferg, I guess, really wanted his tweet to have like more likes and more impressions over this guy's. So apparently Ferg was pinging his entire Discord to go ratio this dude and to go like his tweet.
No way.
Which is kind of weird. Yeah, and then apparently at the same time, Ferg retweeted his own tweets so that more people could see it on their timeline 3 times. So he retweeted it, and I guess he let it sit for a while. He unretweeted it, he retweeted it again, and he did that 3 times so that he could get more likes, because for a long time this tweet was actually sitting at less likes and like less reposts and all that as John's tweet. And then apparently during this live stream, where this clip that won't play, during this live stream as well, his mods were like, go like the tweet or whatever, and they kept linking Ferg's tweet so that people could go and give it a like and stuff, I guess, so that Ferg could think that he was in the right in this whole situation.
What the hell?
And
I see.
Yeah, it's just
it went like, way deeper than I thought it was supposed to go. This is crazy.
Yeah, like this is the part where John exposes it. He's like, his mods are literally linking, like they're spamming the link to his.
That is such thing. I've never said this before, but that is like such like a little crybaby like bitch move, like straight up. Like dude cannot take. Like, you can't be right in every situation. You're gonna have an opinion, and whether opinion is correct or incorrect, it doesn't matter. It's an opinion, but he's like forcing it to be the right opinion. Like he wasn't gonna settle unless his opinion was the right one. And I guess he gets validation by more likes. Like, come on, man. What in the what the hell?
It was really weird, for sure. And he did end up getting what he wanted. You know, his tweet does have more likes. It has the same amount of retweet quotes. It has more comments or whatever. But apparently this is all after he like retweeted it 3 times, spammed it in his live stream, told people in his Discord to go like it. Like, it's just a really weird thing. And it's something that I think these like big content creators kind of like, I think they just kind of get used to not being like challenged as much, at least like by their peers, you know, like by people like Hawksnest, who are kind of around the same level of notoriety and stuff. And I think they kind of just get into this headspace of like, you know, I always have the right opinion and my takes are always valid and stuff like that. And this is kind of like the symptom of that, you know, where like clearly at first the community did not agree with him and were agreeing with this dude. And then he had to like force it like multiple times and stuff, just so that he could feel like, okay, my opinion has more likes, it has more, impressions or whatever. Now I feel validated and now I'm right or whatever. And so it's super weird. uh, I think when I saw Hawksnest's response to it, I did not think this was hostile at all. I thought this was just like, I have a difference in opinion, and this is what I think. So for him to kind of get offended at it and like kind of poke fun at Hawksnest, calling him like essentially calling him like a wannabe intellectual and all this
Right.
stuff, um, it just kind of highlights how some of these guys' egos are like a little too inflated.
That's what it is,
And
bro. It's the ego, dude. The ego is like the
yeah,
downfall of any man if you can't control it, dude. That is just
yeah,
wild, dude.
it's just, and Noah actually stepped in, and he again, just like what I think Hawksnest was saying, like he had really level headed takes. He's like, I never thought about weapon leaderboard ethics, but I agree with this. Buying the battle pass and skipping possibly 6 hours of grinding to unlock a weapon is an advantage. Meanwhile, using the weapon when it drops in BR for everyone is just good time management. So even like other huge content creators are agreeing with Hawksnest, and the fact that like he made a fair point, and it wasn't hostile, it wasn't it wasn't with like a malicious intent or anything like that. Like he was simply just giving his opinion, and I don't know why these guys like Ferg, like they take such offense to it. They take such offense to being told that they're wrong, maybe, or that other people have a different opinion and stuff. But yeah, this is basically just the second Call of Duty mobile drama that Hawksnest has been involved in, where he's calling out one of his friends and fellow content creators. And again, it's kind of weird seeing Hawksnest do it. I would expect this of
Right.
like maybe the mobile drama guy,
You know,
or
you know what I was
maybe
thinking
me.
right now? And it makes it, I don't know if it's like a weird theory, but Hawk's bio says that he's still a creator for Tribe Gaming, and Ferg no longer appears to be affiliated with Tribe Gaming. I thought at one point he was like a co-owner of Tribe Gaming. He even started a YouTube channel called
Mm,
Tribe Frags, and he had, I think, Godsley, Vague, he had Imo on there for a little bit. Hawk's Nest is also a part of it. And one thing that I noticed about those Tribe Frag videos, I don't know if you've ever watched them, but they kind of poke fun at Hawk's Nest a lot, dude. Like Hawk's Nest
oh,
is like
really?
usually like the butt of the jokes. And it was kind of cringy in a way watching them, because I could see what they were trying to do with those like Tribe Frag videos by giving people like character and like some kind of like exaggerated like personalities, like
Right.
like Imo was like the super like athletic guy, he's strong and fast, and Hawksness was like, I guess, the slower dude, the weaker dude. And they kind of painted him that way a lot in those Tribe Frag videos, at least from the ones that I saw. I didn't watch a whole lot of them. Um, but I wonder if this is kind of like Hawk's Nest just kind of being like, hey, like I'm just kind of like done with being like the butt of the jokes. There's more to me than
Mm.
just COD Mobile. I'm still with Tribe Gaming. You're not affiliated anymore. Like you're not my boss. And when I see things that I don't like, I'm gonna call him out, because he's probably tired of sitting in the background being like the like, from my perspective, like they were just clowning on him and like using him as kind of like a stepping stone in a way. Like they didn't really like view
Yeah.
him as a peer, but more of like, hey, look at this. It's the laugh at him, not laugh with him kind of thing. At least that's my
Right.
perspective from it. I don't know if other people view it that way. If anyone wants to go and like, like if you want to clarify, I recommend you guys go to watch those Tribe Frags videos that feature all those guys, because maybe you see the same thing that I see, but yeah, it was kind of weird. They were trying to have fun. They were trying to create like this homeboy, we're all friends kind of like vibe, and I don't know, it didn't really seem that
Yeah.
way to me. It's kind of like they were all just kind of forced to be there in a way, but I don't know. That's the thing with these guys and their big egos. And Ferg probably wanted to be number one. He probably wanted to continue, and he probably has a notebook with like a list of things to do, and he's probably like, be number one at every gun every time it releases, and that is not one that he can check off. Somebody beat him to it, and he's pissed
Mm.
off about it, and now he's gonna probably want change in the game, and he's gonna cry to COD Mobile until they fix it or change it. But the reality is that this is not new. Being able to pick up
Yeah.
like the new weapons in ground loot battle royale is not new. They've been doing this for like a year. And
Yeah.
every time there's a new season update, like before the battle pass restarts or refreshes, those guns are always there. iFerg could have always gone and played battle royale, but he doesn't want to. You know, if he doesn't want to play
Yeah,
BR, that's on
that's
him.
something
That's on him.
that's something that yeah, that's something that Noah said too. He's like, I don't see it as like cheating or anything. I just see it as good time management. Like they know that it comes out in BR first. They know that they're either gonna have to grind the battle pass for 6 hours to unlock the gun or pay money for it. So, you know, that's someone who's trying to get number one, wants to manage that time correctly, wants to do it as quickly as possible. They would go play BR, and that's what those three random dudes that did it did. And Ferg is kind of complaining that, you know, it wasn't his way, despite him knowing how he could have still accomplished his little goal and stuff. And yeah, it's just weird. It's
Yeah.
just
Even for me,
it's just really weird.
like someone for me who can like who does play like most majority battle royale and then play some multiplayer. If I want to create a loadout right now using that sniper rifle, the Tundra is unlockable I think at tier 21, so basically at the halfway point of the battle pass. If you buy the basic battle pass, you only unlock the first tier and then have to grind all the way to the middle
Yeah.
in order to unlock that gun. So even if I wanted to start leaderboard grinding right now, I'm already behind everybody else. If I want to get caught up to everybody in multiplayer, I would have to purchase all those damn tiers. So it's kind of
Yeah.
like pay to win per se if you want to grind leaderboards. So I mean,
Yeah, that's what Hawksnest pointed out. He was like, if we're going to be talking about what's fair and what's not fair in regards to these leaderboards, he points out that it's more unfair that people who have money to pay for those advances in the battle pass, it's more unfair that they have the option to do that versus people who, you know, financially can't afford it or whatever it is. And he's right. Like that's a level-headed take. Like it is like if you're going to be on this topic of like what's fair and what isn't, then this is 100% like what he said. It's in that conversation. So I'm not too sure why Ferg was like so offended by that and somehow misconstrued that into like, oh, I must hate, you know, free to play players or whatever. Which is something I had a tweet brought up right now. I just lost it. Sorry about that. But, oh yeah, this one. He's like, the simple fact of Ferg implying that you accused him of something he didn't say, which you obviously didn't do, shows many things about him. Another thing, why is he now blocking anyone that disagrees with him? It's obviously not to focus on Warzone Mobile or whatever other excuse he gave, because if it was, he'd just ignore the people. Put down your phone is not the. Yeah, this is something that he had said. I think Mobile Drama Guy had tweeted out that like Ferg was on like a blocking spree after this whole thing.
I remember I
And
saw
think
that pop
Ferg's
up on my timeline too about him like going ahead and block. Nah, what's funny is that I
yeah.
even checked my account. I was like, wait a minute, he didn't block me too. Did he? Did he? I was like, how far did his blocking go? And I was like, oh no, I can still view his tweets.
I mean, we as soon as this goes live, we're in that we're in that group too.
We're in the crosshairs for sure.
But but yeah, I guess he gave the excuse that like he was blocking people to focus on Warzone Mobile, but it just seems like he's more like I don't want people who have any different opinion to be in my sort of, you know, in my view. And that's a really weird way of operating, in my opinion. That just kind of, in my opinion, that could contribute more to, you know, having an inflated ego and yes men and people who don't sort of go against anything you say or you know whatever it is, just simply because that's how you want it. Like that to me just seems so weird. Like I would not want to have my friend groups and my social circles to be just people who are afraid to disagree with me even about the slightest things like weapon leaderboards in fear of getting blocked, you know.
Right.
It's just a really weird thing. But yeah, it's super weird. One thing that I just noticed, by the way, we mentioned that Ferg took out the co-owner of Tribe Gaming in his bio. I don't know, maybe this could be a mistake, but his header, it still has Tribe Gaming, the logo in it. So I don't know if this is current though. I don't know if he is sponsored by AT&T and Samsung Galaxy still. Maybe this is just, you know, he forgot, he didn't notice it or whatever, but yeah, he did take out that co-owner part, and so maybe this is why Hawksnest is kind of, you know, like not afraid anymore, essentially, to disagree with some of these big guys' takes. But who knows? Who knows? It is very interesting. I do honestly, I do think it is kind of cool that there is someone as big as Hawksnest kind of, I guess, speaking out in regards to things that he thinks are a little bit weird that these guys are saying and stuff. And yeah, I think the whole argument is pretty. I think Noah actually um tweeted about it saying like I don't actually really care. And and there should just be different leaderboards for multiplayer and different leaders for BR.
That
That
would
way everyone
probably
stops.
solve that would probably solve that whole issue if there was multiple
Yeah.
leaderboards, one for BR, one for multiplayer, and it would kind of highlight the battle royale players a little bit more too, because I feel like battle royale doesn't get enough credit. Everybody just kind of like acknowledges multiplayer. Anytime that there's a leaderboard, people always recognize it as a multiplayer achievement. But there are some people that solely focus on battle royale. So I mean, it wouldn't hurt if they included battle royale only leaderboard, and more power to those guys. I don't see nothing wrong with it, and it would make
Yeah,
it would make little baby iFerg happy.
that's pretty much what he said. He was like, "I'll squash the beef. Let's just make separate weapon leaderboards for multiplayer and BR. All right, everyone, kiss and make up. I actually don't care about the argument. I just wanted an excuse to kiss the homies."
There you go. Noah the
So
mediator.
yeah, he's definitely the mediator. I definitely respect him a lot. He doesn't really get involved in stuff like this, and definitely respect Hawksnest a little more. I'll be honest, I don't really watch Hawksnest like videos and stuff like that. I do know he's into some really interesting stuff, photography and like AI art and things like that. That stuff is kind of interesting, but yeah, this is definitely uh a new side of Hawksnest that I've seen, but I
Yeah.
kind of like it.
Yeah,
I
he's
kind of like
growing
it.
up. He's 23, so that means
It'll
when he was like 18, 19 when COD Mobile came out. Damn, so he grew up.
damn.
He grew up
Actually,
playing
you're right.
COD. That's crazy.
Yeah, he was like 18, 19 when the game came out. Jesus Christ. But yeah, I mean, hey, at least there's someone much bigger than you and I that'll keep these guys in check,
At
if
least
you know what I mean. But yeah, that was pretty much the two Call of Duty mobile drama topics that we had for you guys today. I'm sure there's going to be more in the coming weeks, if this is how quickly we're getting more drama. What's up, guys? Jaboozle here. But yeah, you had a really interesting topic that you
Oh
mentioned, bro.
man. Which one?
As a Nintendo fanboy, as a diehard Nintendo fanboy,
Mm,
very
mm.
excited to hear about it. There's been rumors about the Switch too, and I know you wanted to talk about it. So you wanna
Yeah,
bring us
man.
up to speed?
Yeah, of course. Let me share you my screen here. Let me see. Bada boom, bada bing. Nothing too crazy, but it is huge news. We're starting to see and hear rumors for the Nintendo Switch 2. We don't know what it's called officially, but information is starting to get out. There's people leaking supposed specs for the Nintendo Switch 2. I've been on live stream and people are talking about the Switch 2. I've been seeing leaks about the Switch 2 since I think late last year. But this one came recently today. Was it today? 10 a.m. Yeah, no, yesterday. This is from IGN, and IGN posted this here. It says AI Shark revealed in a press release that it was reviving its Game Shark brand and that its relaunch in September 2024 is planned to coincide with the Nintendo Switch 2. So, rumor has it that the Nintendo
Damn.
Switch 2 will be releasing this year, like September, like September-ish. And what I find kind of interesting is one, Nintendo's been pretty quiet as far as I guess gearing up for any possible. Well, the E3 has been canceled, so there's no more like E3. Nintendo only really announces things through Nintendo Direct, or they'll announce things through Twitter. Most recently, they announced like the brand new Zelda movie. That's in the works. But they did like a little tweet from their official Nintendo account, and Miyamoto tweeted. So everything's been very, very quiet as far as this brand new console. But there's a lot of hype around it. Like Jab said, I am a huge Nintendo fan, and Jab, you're probably even a bigger fan, especially on the mobile side. I remember you saying that you've had like all like the Game Boys and stuff like that too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I started off with the Game Boy Color, and I had the Advance afterwards. I had the SP, and then I had the OG, like the chunky DS And yeah, and at this point, I've had like every Switch model. I've had 3DSs. I'm a huge Nintendo guy. Um, but yeah, there's a lot more rumors and stuff in the news cycle essentially. By the way, bro, your stream thing, it's not loading for me. But
Oh,
I tried disconnecting and
oh, hold
yeah,
on.
it's just infinitely loading.
No, is it really?
Yeah, yeah.
Let me
I
see.
can bring it up. I mean, people can still see your perspective though. I can bring up the thing. It was
Let me try
Game
this
Shark,
again.
right?
Yes, it was. It was an IGN tweet. Shark Game Shark revealed or AI Shark. Let's see. Oh,
Yeah, dude, I remember them. Do you remember Game
oh,
Shark?
is
They
it
were like
sharing?
the
Is it
little
sharing now?
cheater. Let's see.
It looks like it is now. I hope.
Yes, yes. Now it is.
Trash ass internet.
But yeah, I actually heard about this too, and apparently for people who are too young and don't know what Game Shark is, they were essentially like cheating devices. Like they let you put cheats into, Pokemon on your Game Boy, or whatever game it was that you were playing on your Game Boy or DS or whatever. They essentially let you, activate cheats and stuff. And they basically, like, yeah, like AB said, they came out saying like, we're back, we're going to be making a cheating essentially device. I think they've changed it now. That I think they said like AI assisted, or
You
something like that,
right.
but it's a cheating device, like, let's be real. And
Do you see this though?
they
Look at
said that
this
they were going
leaked
to be,
image.
oh my god, dude, I would buy that day one.
They stuck. Is that a 3DS in the freaking
That's
the?
I think that's a DSi. It's got that little selfie camera on it.
Oh, you're right.
Damn,
Wait,
dude.
oh, right here, the little selfie in the hinge. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. Dude, that was one of the ones that I never had. I had the original DS, and that was it. I had like my cousins and stuff had like the DS Lite or whatever, but I didn't know anyone that had a DSi. I always wanted one though. They look so clean.
Yeah, and then
But
some of the. Oh, I'm sorry. You
no, no,
had
no.
some insight on the on some of the leaked specs. You said that it was gonna have
Yeah.
like 12 gigs of RAM, and then 4 were dedicated to
Yeah.
the GPU, and then the other 8 were for processing the games and stuff.
Yeah, so it was in Spanish, but luckily they translated it for the non-Spanish speakers. It's from Universe Nintendo, and basically they had there's leaks of the actual hardware of the Switch 2, and it pretty much lines up with what everything has been saying up until this point, like all of the insider leaks. At one point, there was like a leak with Nvidia, and that's how we even found out about the processor that's going to be in the Nintendo Switch. Like we already know exactly what processor it's going to be and stuff, and so they basically summed it up. It's going to be the NVIDIA T239 processor. That's, I guess, the internal code name for it. And it's apparently an 8-core CPU. We don't know the exact clock speeds right now. Obviously, that's not going to be something we find out probably until the console's actually out. Um, Apparently, it has a 12 stream multi. Oh, actually, I should probably be sharing this. I'm so sorry, AB.
No, you good. You good. I was looking at more
uh,
fake news about the Switch too.
Dude, there's so much fake stuff. I've seen like fake things being like it's gonna have like the 3DS, it's gonna have 2 screens and it folds out and stuff, but you can separate the screens and all this crazy stuff. It's insane. But yeah, going back to the supposed leaked specs, it says it has a 12 stream multi-processor GPU, performance ranging from 3.5 to 4.5 teraflops in docked mode, which, to give you a perspective of what this even means for people who don't really know what this stuff means, this puts it anywhere between like a PS4 Pro, maybe a bit above that, which is pretty powerful for a handheld. Like even things like the Steam Deck are not this powerful. So this is a massive jump compared to the current Nintendo Switch. It says that it's capable of about 1.7 to 2.0 teraflops in handheld mode. So it is going to be like I guess nerfed a little bit in handheld, probably to save the battery life and stuff like that. But even still, if these numbers are accurate, this should put it at or a little bit above a PS4, which again is more powerful than a Steam Deck. And This particular leak says 12 or 16 gigabytes of RAM, and it is going to be LPDDR5 RAM. So I'm pretty sure that's the same type of RAM that's found in, like, for example, the Red Magic 8 Pro. So that's very, very fast RAM. Like that's another significant leap compared to the original Switch. Um, Says the memory bandwidth is 100 gigabytes a second, which that tells me that it's gonna have an SSD. Sorry, actually no, it's memory bandwidth. Never mind. This just tells me that this is gonna be very, very fast RAM. Much faster than that of a Nintendo Switch. Memory cache uncertain. Tegra GPU cores may be able to access. I don't even know what that means. Display is an 8-inch display with 1080p and 60 hertz. I wouldn't be surprised if this is not accurate though. The 1080p thing.
I saw one rumor where it was saying that it was 120 hertz. Oh, but that might be the screen.
Yeah.
Maybe on a TV it'll probably reach 120 hertz.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it does support 120 hertz when docked, because there's for sure games that already run at 60 on the normal Switch. So on Switch 2 they could probably do 120. Games like maybe Minecraft or Terraria, things, these indie games and stuff. I'm a little bit uncertain if they're going to use a 1080p screen though, because even though it doesn't seem like that much, 1080p compared to 720p, which is what the current Switch has, that's a pretty big jump. That jump is 4 times the resolution, which is going to use, processing power and the CPU and the GPU and things like that. So jumping to 1080p could be like a massive hit in battery life. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of these handhelds, even the ones that are releasing in 2023, 2024, it's one of the reasons why they're still using 720p screens, because it's one of the easiest ways to save on battery life. So I don't know if this is going to be 100% accurate. If it is, it'll be cool because, the image will be sharp and stuff. But at the same time, I would be a little bit worried about battery life. But besides that, it says internal storage is estimated to be either 256 gigabytes or 512, which does sound pretty. I mean, it's not that much, but it does sound pretty accurate for Nintendo. They're usually pretty, tame when it comes to the internal storage, and you usually have to buy like a separate memory card or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And besides that, it basically just says that it's the end of it. It says additional details referring to DLSS, reflex, and ray tracing, comparisons to RTX 3000 graphics cards, full HD in handheld mode, 512 gig internal storage ceiling, and 500 gigabytes potential storage on on cartridges. So that means that you could possibly fit huge games like, for example, Call of Duty on a Nintendo Switch 2 cartridge, since it says it has the potential to hold up to 500 gigabytes. That's something that's, if that's true, that's actually a pretty big advantage, because I think the normal Switch, the cartridges are actually limited to like 16 gigabytes or like 32 gigabytes, which is why you'll usually buy a Switch game and there will be like a mandatory update that's like 8 gigs or 10 gigs or whatever. And the reason why is because those cartridges are so small. So that's gonna be pretty big if that's true.
500 gigabytes on a cartridge, that's insane. That is huge. I mean, if you were to buy like an SD card, I mean, a 500 gigabyte SD card, I mean, I don't even know how much that would run you, but that's crazy.
Oh, they're really cheap. I actually just bought one during like the whole Black Friday thing. It was $20.
Oh, okay. So it might be a little bit more cost effective then in the long run for them, because like, you know how it goes, new tech, new prices. One thing that I did read about pricing was that supposedly the Switch 2 could see like $100 increase over last year. So some rumors were saying that the Switch 2 could be like a $400 console.
Yeah, which honestly, that sounds, for the hardware that we just went over, that's actually a very good price in my opinion, because if you look at something like the Steam Deck, right? Like the Steam Deck, the OLED model starts at 550, and if you look at the LCD model, I believe the 256 gig one is probably $400. I could be wrong. They recently changed the price, so I'm not actually sure what the prices are right now. But let me see. Yeah, the LCD 256 gigabyte model is also $400. So it's basically going to be as expensive as a brand new 256 gig Steam Deck, which is pretty good, except the fact that based off these leaked specs, it's actually going to be a pretty significant jump in terms of performance. And one thing you have to consider too is that like consoles get developer specific optimization, whereas something like the Steam Deck doesn't. Like on PC gaming, they kind of just they make a game and then they give you minimum requirements, recommended requirements, and your PC is obviously going to fall somewhere in the middle between that and that's pretty much it. But when it comes to consoles and console games, they utilize every ounce of hardware that they can in order to make that game run and look as good as possible, which is going to be a huge advantage for the Switch too when compared to things like the Steam Deck or the ROG Ally or things like that, because those devices do not get that level of support
Right.
from developers. But and in terms of how all these specs that we've been talking about, in terms of how it's going to affect games, apparently it's already been showcased last year at a games event called Gamescom. So apparently there was a little private event where some people were allowed in and they showcased games running on the Switch 2 apparently. And one of those games actually was Breath of the Wild, which is obviously one of the most famous games on Switch, one of the most popular Zelda games in recent history. And apparently they showcased the original Switch version of Breath of the Wild running on Switch 2, and apparently it was higher resolution. We're not sure if it was 1440p or 4K, but it was higher than the original. I think it's 900p of the Switch. And on top of that, the frame rate was doubled to 60 FPS instead of 30 like it is in on the normal Switch. And I think they mentioned it also had like improved effects and stuff like that, probably draw distance and texture quality and things like that. But that basically confirms that one, the Switch 2 is going to be backwards compatible with the original Switch, and also it confirms that some of these older Switch games might be getting like performance upgrades or performance patches for the next console. This is all speculation, by the way, but assuming that this is true, then that obviously that's going to be huge. Because I know you, AB, I know you love Nintendo as well. You love Nintendo games, but one of your biggest complaints has been the hardware because there are frame drops and there are low resolutions and stuff like that on the Switch. But it seems like this might be like a really good upgrade.
Yeah, definitely, dude. I mean, everything looks great as far as like, the rumored specs and stuff like that. And you're right. One of my biggest gripes with Nintendo consoles, I've been playing Nintendo games since like the original NES and stuff. And, there was a point in time like during like the GameCube era, like Nintendo had like the most powerful consoles. But then like Xbox came out, PlayStation came out, and sticking to Nintendo consoles only, like every time I would see like a PS3 game or like an Xbox 360 game, I'm like, damn, like Nintendo's starting to look like they're falling behind. I mean, their games were fantastic, but we would get like, for example, like being like a huge Call of Duty fan, Nintendo always got like the watered down like ports, and they didn't get all the support. They didn't even get like DLC for Call of Duty. And so it was one of the reasons why I was like, damn, I'm gonna when as soon as I can afford newer consoles, I'm gonna start buying like the PlayStations and like the higher end stuff, because I want to play the better looking stuff, the games with support, the games with the latest DLC. Because on the Nintendo side they weren't getting that. So and then Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, as amazing as they are, like one thing that always took me out of the experience was just seeing like all the like the developer tricks, like all the mist and the fog, and they're obviously hiding um like loading screens and draw distances, and it just made the game not look as immersive as it could. And I've seen what people can do with like PC, like I don't know if they're exactly emulated, but they can get like Zelda running at like 4K,
Uh,
60 FPS, and it looks great. And again, that's what I wish I was playing instead of what we actually get to play on Switch. So my biggest gripe with
yeah.
Nintendo consoles has always been I just wish that their systems were, performance wise keeping up with like the Sonys and the Xboxes and PC stuff, but they're always like a generation behind. And even now, the Switch 2 looks like it might be hitting PS4 Pro specs, which it's still going to be considered, behind a generation. But I mean, honestly, the PS4 is like a great console, and those level, if it hits that level of like graphical integrity and stuff, like we should be good. Like you don't necessarily need more than that. That should be able to run, something like Tears of the Kingdom with the same, graphic art style, all that, but like give us like a solid 60 FPS. I hate there would be some times where I'm like, man, I just want to take the beautiful vista and then like I would turn the camera and then like the camera would start to stutter, things would like disappear, and I'm like, oh god, this is ugly. So
Yeah.
I want to
I,
be like in it and then like just have like a smooth experience.
yeah, I mean, I obviously some people are still going to be upset that it's around the PS4 Pro level, but you have to remember too, like the PS4 Pro is capable of playing really, really good looking games like The Last of Us Part 2 and Red Dead Redemption 2 and Cyberpunk and like things like that. So those are all things that are probably not possible in the current Switch. So, the fact that these things might now actually be in the conversation to come to a Nintendo console, I think is pretty cool. Um, Going back to that Gamescom thing, apparently Breath of the Wild is not the only thing they showcased. They showcased three games actually. They showcased Breath of the Wild running at a much higher frame rate and resolution versus the original, according to this article by Polygon. They also showcased Epic's The Matrix Awakens tech demo, which is running on Unreal Engine 5, and I believe it was originally made for like PC and PS5. So this is actually very interesting that it can run that. Um, and then on top of that, it was able to utilize things like NVIDIA's DLSS and ray tracing, which for people who don't know what DLSS is, it basically lets you take a lower resolution and then upscale it to a higher one. So you get the benefits of performance from running at a low resolution, but you get the visual, appealness to running at a higher resolution. I think that technology is going to be a huge player into like why games look so good on the next Nintendo console, because that's it's huge. It allows Nintendo essentially to run games at a low resolution, let's say 480p or 540p, but then the DLSS technology upscales it to 720 or to 1080. So it's going to be really, really good for the system. You can use something similar. AMD has their own version of this technology called FSR, and you can actually use it on the Steam Deck. And I use it in certain games because certain games running natively at 720p, they just can't hold a steady 30 FPS. But when you use FSR, it'll render the game at say 360p or 480p, but then it'll upscale it to 720, and now you'll have a stable 30 FPS, and it still looks like you're playing at native 720p. So that technology is definitely huge for handhelds, and the fact that they have Nvidia's version, which is the superior version, that's going to be really, really good for the next Nintendo console. The last game that they showcased apparently was Final Fantasy VII Remake. That's another game that's probably not possible to run on the current Switch, but it is apparently on Switch 2. So that just gives us another idea as to like the level of games that can be brought over to the Switch 2. The last thing I wanted to mention, I know I'm rambling now at this point, but I love Nintendo. They this person
I love
here
hearing it. I
was,
love hearing it, dude. You're so knowledgeable.
I appreciate it. This dude here who knows way more than me, basically was talking about the processor in the next Switch console, and I guess trying to give us an idea of like what it's capable of. They mentioned that the Switch 2 has, I believe, it's 24 CUs. CUs is compute units. That relates to performance and stuff like that. Whereas the Steam Deck only has 8, and the ROG Ally, which is much more powerful than the Steam Deck when you have it like hardwired, that only has 12, and then the Xbox Series S has 20, and the PS5 has 36. So
Wow.
in terms of compute, yeah, in terms of compute units, the Switch 2 is between a Series S and a PS5. So it has way more than Steam Deck, way more than ROG Ally, stuff like that. And he goes on to say like what this means is as a GPU, it is larger, it is more powerful core to core and clock for clock than a Series S, and it is about 2/3 of a PS5's GPU, which is crazy for a handheld. And then he says We can't stop there. This is where clock speeds come in. We don't have the exact clock speed information, but we do have number profiles for the GPU that it was tested at, being conservative. The Switch 2 GPU will likely be downclocked to something around 1 gigahertz for its max clock docked mode. So, in order to meet the performance of the larger Switch 2 GPU, Series S GPU needs to be clocked 1.2 times higher. It is clocked at 1.5, which means 1.5 times higher, blah, blah, blah. Basically saying that at 1 gigahertz, it can accomplish, the Switch 2 can accomplish what the Series S would need to be overclocked to do. So that just gives you an idea as to like how powerful as well as how efficient the processor is in the Switch 2, the graphics specifically. He says this is just simple peak performance overview, doesn't get into things like memory bandwidth, blah, blah, blah. But it's still very obvious that this SoC is not messing around in the system land, in handheld system land. So yeah, whatever it really comes down to, this processor that they're using in the Switch 2 is not like anything to laugh at. Like, it is 100% one of the most powerful processors we've ever seen put into a handheld device. And again, mentioning things like the NVIDIA DLSS and things like that, it's just going to make it even that more efficient and that more impressive. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do see games like Tears of the Kingdom, for example, come out with like a performance patch, and all of a sudden now it's 1080p or 1440p, 60 FPS, and things like that. Because based off this hardware, like, it can 100% handle that. But yeah, super exciting. Hopefully all of these rumors are true. Hope that way me and AB can finally enjoy Tears of the Kingdom at more than 15 FPS. And
I hope so.
Yeah, and apparently this is all coming out in September too, by the way. This goes back to the original thing
that's going to come sooner than we think, because I'm guessing we're going to probably start seeing like some announcements like months before that. Because that's
apparently there's apparently there's a direct next month.
Oh, next month.
Yeah.
The fanboy in me, man.
Yeah, it's very interesting. And even like as just like a mobile gaming fan too and stuff, like, just to see what it's like on the other side of it, like with handheld gaming, it's always super interesting to see like what they have going on and stuff. And yeah, this next console, I genuinely think it's gonna be a massive step up from what the current Switch is. And even though we're saying like PS4 performance handheld, PS4 Pro performance docked and stuff, I think we're going to be really impressed with it. I was already super impressed with the Steam Deck. I don't know if you've ever looked at videos and stuff, but the Steam Deck already handles like PS4 games like The Last of Us Remastered or Days Gone and things like that. It already handles them very, very well. We're talking like 720p medium settings, 30 FPS on lock. It looks very similar to the PS4 version, but in a handheld and stuff. And this console looks like it's going to be way more powerful than a Steam Deck. So it's really exciting.
Yeah, I was gonna say that like Nintendo with the Switch now, with its like with its profile, the way that it's kind of like a handheld but also a home console, it has to compete in the same market as Xbox, PlayStation, but also like the ROGs, the Steam Decks. Lenovo just launched like a new Legion handheld, where they're all basically like handheld computers. So now more than ever, like, Nintendo really has to like compete and come with like a certain level of like computing power. And from what you've read here, dude, it seems like they're definitely like coming out strong with their processing and everything. One thing that I was kind of curious about is that Nintendo always kind of has like a certain gimmick with their consoles. With the Switch, it was like the first time that we had like that true handheld console that could be docked at home. The Wii U was kind of like a hybrid of, because it had like the tablet, but it also had like its own system, right? It was like a console, but then you had a tablet controller. Before that, it was the Nintendo Wii, and that was motion controls. I wonder what will the Switch 2 have? If it's going to still have like the controllers that are detachable, will they improve the controller design? Maybe what about the joysticks? Are they going to finally get rid of like stick drift and bring us like those magnetic Hall effect thumbsticks, so we don't have to worry about stick drift anymore and breaking controllers? I wonder if they're gonna kind of step up in like their other aspects of their console, even like their online stuff, like their online gaming and their infrastructure. Like I'm also curious as to like the entire vision for the Switch 2. The specs, it looks
Yeah.
for so far they look great, but I'm curious about the rest, and I'm very excited. I'm hopeful for those next directs and stuff, and seeing what else they reveal, because Nintendo always kills it with like their controllers and stuff too. The Joy Cons,
Yeah.
they're amazing little controllers with so much tech in them, but they were constantly breaking and stuff like that. So I wonder if they'll also
Yeah.
sort out like their docking. Are they gonna have like a better dock? More ports. What else are we gonna see? It's
Yeah.
exciting stuff. There's a lot that goes into this. It's not just a handheld. There's so much to it. It's exciting.
Yeah, I really hope that they take this opportunity to use the much more, powerful system to actually improve upon the software, because the Switch right now is very bare bones. Like, you can't message your friends on Switch, you can't start a voice chat party, or you can't use a web browser, things like that. And these are all things that were available in like the 3DS or the PS Vita, or obviously like other consoles that are even older than that, the Wii. And so that's something that I definitely hope that they improve upon, is making that those aspects of the console, like, much better. I mean, like the current Switch, we still only have two themes. We have either the black theme or the white theme.
Oh
Like, we
yeah, I
can't even
saw
add other,
that.
can't even add other colors, or like how the 3DS had it, where they had like Pokemon themes and it would change the UI sounds, and
Oh,
there would be
that's
music playing and things
right.
like that.
That's right. The
Yeah, like
3DS,
that's
you can buy like UI like upgrades on in their eShop. You can have everything like Zelda themed and stuff. That was cool.
Yeah, they gotta really work on bringing that type of stuff back, because it really separated Nintendo consoles from other consoles, because it was like very, it just gave it some personality, and it just kind of gave it that little extra thing that made Nintendo consoles like so unique. And so I really hope that they do a complete overhaul on how like the operating system itself works and stuff. Um and I'm pretty sure with they are going to do that though, because I think they actually did finally talk about, because they have not been talking about the Switch 2 at all. Like, they deny that it even exists and stuff like that. But I think one thing that they did mention was the Nintendo system, like the online system. And I think they basically said that they wanted it to be like as smooth of a transition as possible, which kind of confirms that like our profiles will, be brought along with us and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that that just means like they're taking the existing thing and then they're just going to make it way better for the next Switch, so that we don't have to download the app on our phone to message our friends, or dumb things like that. um but yeah, super exciting as a Nintendo fan. Really hope that it does end up being as powerful as these leaks are saying it is, because if so, it is gonna be an insane console, and it honestly, it's gonna be so exciting for people who don't know about things like the Steam Deck and all that. Like, being able to see games like Final Fantasy VII Remake running in a handheld, like that type of stuff is gonna blow people's minds, like it did with me when I got the Steam Deck for the first time. So yeah, super interesting. But I don't want to hold you too long, bro. I know we had one last topic to go over, which was as we always do. It's kind of like a tradition of the podcast at this point to always end with the with alien talk.
They're real.
They're real, dude. They took over Miami apparently. But for people who don't know what we're talking about, there was something that happened about a week ago now, January 6th, in Miami, Florida, where supposedly what the whole, I guess, conspiracy theory is that there was something happening at a mall, and I guess people supposedly saw 8 to 10 foot tall aliens, as we could see here.
Hmm.
And apparently this basically brought one of the largest police like responses I think I've ever seen
I've
for
never
anything.
seen so many police pull up to something.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, we've seen a lot of like tragic events, in the news and stuff, mass shootings and things like that. You'll usually see 20 cop cars, 30 cop cars, or whatever. This event, there was like 70 cop cars outside of this mall. There was like a bunch of on foot like police officers and stuff. It was crazy, the response that they had to this whole thing that happened. But basically, yeah, it was said that what was the official story? I saw so many explanations. What was the
Yeah,
like official
so
explanation?
I guess what the official report that the police and the city are putting out is that a bunch of kids showed up to the mall to have a fireworks fight. That's what
Wow.
that's what freaking Miz. Hi, babe.
Hi. Hi,
Hello.
Jabuzo.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going.
We're talking about the Miami aliens, babe.
Really, I'm literally getting like DMs like, where's AB? He's supposed to be streaming.
Oh, I know.
Oh, it's my fault. Every time we do one of these things, I end up talking for 2 hours and making
No,
him
it's
late
okay
to his
because now AB's gonna have to just stream later tonight anyways, because yeah.
Yep. My manager says I got to stream longer.
Hey, the bills need to be paid, dude.
That's true. But yeah, hi, babe. Everything good?
Yeah, everything's good. I just wanted to see how you guys are doing.
You know what this feels like,
How about
Jab?
the aliens?
This feels like when you're
Whoa.
hanging out with your homeboy in your room and you're like showing off like all your Pokemon cards or your cool stuff, and then your mom walks in like, "What are you boys doing?" It's like, "Mom, get out of here!
Oh,
Well, okay, bye.
Get out of here, mom!
okay.
Bye,
Bye.
Jabuzo.
Bye, babe. See you later."
Bye.
We
Have
gotta
a
talk
good
about your attitude tonight, AB.
You're in
Bye.
trouble.
Mystic, everyone.
Oh my god.
Yeah, for any
He's technically the first official guest of the podcast. It's
the
like
first
the second time, right?
the first and only one so far because she keeps popping in randomly.
Oh man. But yeah, you were saying the official story that the police were
yeah,
going with?
so it was a bunch of kids that showed up to have a fireworks fight, and then some people were reporting that it was a mass shooting, and that's what caused this huge response from the police force. That is the official response, but the people that were there, or the rumor, or the theory, is that what actually happened is that a portal or something opened up in the middle of the mall, and three shadowy figures arose from it, and they were just, I guess, phasing in and out of reality as they were walking through the mall. And there are some reports from people that were there, but this is where it gets kind of tricky because some people were reporting that they were there and they were telling these really in-depth stories, but then once their videos went viral, they went back and they would like basically update and say, sorry guys, I was just trolling. I didn't think that my video would get such a huge response. But then on the flip side, there are people that are like kind of like backing up this story of the aliens. I thought I was in GTA for a second. And some people are saying that, like, no, yes, we were there. We saw three shadowy figures. They were 8 to 10 feet tall. And the reason why nobody recorded any footage or clear footage of them was either one, these beings were interfering with their cameras, or two, people were just so terrified that they didn't even want to like think about it. They just booked it. They ran.
Yeah.
And two very good questions have kind of come up about this situation. Because there's, as you can see in the clip, there's like you said, like 100 vehicles that are there,
Yeah.
and there's probably hundreds of people that were in the mall at that time. And so people have asked the question, okay, so if there was no videos of aliens or no clear videos of aliens, but the police claim that there was videos of kids fighting with fireworks, how come there's no videos of either?
Right.
Mm?
That's my main thing with the whole thing is like, you're telling me that a bunch of teenagers went to the mall and were fighting, and that none of these teenagers like recorded that and posted it on TikTok? Or like none of the civilians that were just shopping, none of them recorded the fight and posted it? Like that's why I don't know. Obviously, we don't know if it was actually aliens, but I don't buy that official story because we would see the footage. Like TikTok would have been flooded the first day with like different POVs and angles of the fight and of the, you know, what was happening inside the mall. But there hasn't been any of that, like both from the police or from just normal people recording. Like there's like no footage of what was happening inside that mall. But as we can see, there was footage people taking from the outside, and there's literally like 100 cop cars.
Yeah, there's somebody out there with
And
a 6-star wanted level, dude.
exactly, yeah, like it's like
You don't survive
this many
GTA, you're
cops.
wasted immediately with this kind of response.
Yeah, like this type of the reason why I heard like people explaining why there's so many cop cars here was because I guess the kids were supposedly fighting with fireworks, and then I guess people mistaken the fireworks for a gun, and this is why so many cops showed up. But I've seen other videos of like the police response in mass shootings on, you know, obviously it's like it's horrible, but it's never this big. It's
No.
never like hundreds of cop cars. It's always like 20 cop cars, 30 cop cars.
And
This
then
is literally like the most cop cars I've ever seen in one, you know, area.
right, and then usually the response for, you know, one of these you know, unfortunate shootings is that they usually bring in like a task force or a SWAT team or a
Mhm.
more they bring in you know, people specially trained to handle these types of situations. There could be hostages, there could be there could still be an active shooting going on, so they're not just going to throw hundreds and hundreds of police officers in their basic uniforms, you know. They're
Exactly.
not going to send those guys out to handle a response like this. This to me, it seems more of them trying to keep people out. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They created a perimeter and they're trying to like keep people out in a sense. Um, and supposedly you can kind of see them like like there's somebody walking by those steps there, and supposedly
Yeah.
those are the
It's like
aliens. But I mean,
I saw the official explanation for this. I think it was a community note on Twitter, and I think they said like it was just a combination of poor camera quality and like multiple officers walking, you know, right next to each other, and that's why the shadow or whatever looks so big. But this is the clip that people were sharing. Were like, look, you can see the aliens walking. They look huge compared to the sides of the building and the cars and stuff. Um, but this is one of the clips that like people are jumping to debunk, as the community notes here says. So this is misleading, factually incorrect. There were no giants, there were no extraterrestrial beings. This is simply a fight and chaos inside the Bayside Mall. Again, if there was a fight and stuff, how is there no footage of it?
right?
I see fights like all the time on TikTok, on Twitter, whatever it is. There's always like 50 people recording when there's
World
people, you know, fighting.
star.
Exactly, dude. You're telling me that none of those teenagers that were fighting, because that's what they said they were. You're telling me that not a single one of them recorded that and posted it on TikTok, or not one of them was on like Instagram Live as it was happening? Like it makes no sense. And then at the same time, you also have to wonder like, okay, if it was teenagers fighting and there was this huge you know, riot or brawl, whatever,
What about some
why
arrests?
aren't there why are there no arrests? Why are there no you know, why aren't the cops like putting out footage of the mall, inside the mall itself, being like, can you identify this person, can you identify this kid? Like
Yep.
that's usually what happens in brawls and in these big riots and stuff. None of that's happening. Like no one has footage of what was happening inside the mall. Which to me is just the weirdest thing. It's like there's no way no one was recording if it was a fight, if there was kids beating up you know, each other with sticks, like the one of the explanations I saw said. um it's just so weird that this is the level of police presence that was, you know, put on that day, and there's nothing in terms of like what happened in that mall. There were a lot of other rumors too, like supposedly the power was turned out in the area and stuff. I don't know if that's true. We can see lights on, you know, all around. I don't know if that meant like they were saying that that happened after the event or whatever. There was another rumor saying that the nearby airport was like completely shut down. I don't know if that was true, but if so, that's really weird too. Um, yeah, it's just I don't know what happened, but I definitely do not think it was a fight with teenagers and stuff. I think whatever happened, it was like huge because dude,
Yeah.
this level of police presence in one area, no footage being released online or by the media and stuff. Oh, that's another thing I wanted to mention. I don't know what news source it was that released some footage of supposedly inside of the fight and stuff. It was like a footage of like kids fighting or whatever, but people recognized the footage and debunked it, and it turns out that that footage was from 2020 from like a completely different incident, and then they took it down. Like they they tried to pass off this 3-4 year old footage as like footage from inside the Miami Mall, and then people called them out on it, and then they took it down, and that's the only supposed footage that's come out of the whole event. So that's another thing that makes this whole story weird. Like, why would an official news source be sharing old footage trying to push this story of like, yeah guys, look, it was just a fight, here's the footage, and then it turns out it's actually fake. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I obviously the lover in me of paranormal things and aliens and stuff like that wants to believe, but I don't know. I don't know what happened, but it was not a fight. It was not
No.
a simple
There,
firework war.
yeah, something big. I've never seen this amount of police turnout. And then again, they didn't bring in like a SWAT team. There's no specialists. There's no armored vehicles. There's no like this is not the appropriate response for what we've seen. It's an appropriate response for something huge, something major.
This is the response you would think if like a UFO landed in the middle of Times Square. That's the level of response you would think would be there in a few minutes and stuff. Like, this
Right.
is not a couple kids fighting with sticks. Like, this is not the level. You would probably get 1 or 2 cop cars for something like that. Maybe like 4 or 5.
All of those
But
kids have a
100?
phone in their pocket, and they've all
Exactly. Look, in this clip, these are all young people. You're telling me that these young people don't have phones and didn't record the fight that was happening or anything? Like, there's no way. Not one person recorded it. Like, it's crazy. Like, why is there so much footage of what happened outside but not of what happened inside?
right.
You know, like,
And then
it's
there's even got to be like security cameras and stuff too. How come none of that CCTV footage is being used? And like you said, sometimes they post it online. From the police department themselves, will be like, hey, if you were involved in this incident, if you know anyone that was involved in this incident, help us identify some of these individuals, the ones that were carrying actual, fireworks or weapons, or the orchestrators, or the Facebook group or whatever. Like, there's usually some help from the community. This is just kind of like open shut case. Oh, it was kids fighting. Everybody move along. And it's like, nah, dude, what? No, there's something's going on. What the hell? I saw this.
This thing here says, sorry, just real quick. This thing says, the statement by Miami PD was that it was a large fight involving several juveniles, possibly armed with sticks, but no injuries were reported. So they had sticks and they were beating each other up. They were throwing fireworks at each other, but not one of them got hurt or burned or anything like that. That's another thing that just like, it doesn't add up to the story. Like, me and my friends have messed around with fireworks before, like throwing them at each other and stuff. That shit's dangerous. Like, you can get burned. You can blow off a finger. Like,
I know somebody who's missing fingers.
Oh my god, dude! I saw a video one time. Oh, so bad. But yeah, this and like you said too, why are like, there has to be 100 businesses in that mall. Why are not one of them releasing some of their like CCTV footage of, even just a quick clip of like a little brawl happening, or like a bunch of people, running around with fireworks or anything like that? There has to be hundreds of cameras inside that mall. Just release something and just put this whole thing to rest. But they haven't done that. It's been a week and nothing has came out from what happened.
I saw one TikTok video of this guy, and I don't know how legitimate this guy's video is. It was just one random video on this guy's channel that I saw, and he was talking about this incident, and he said that his dad is actually one of the police officers that responded to this call. And so he said, guys, I'm going to call my dad and I'm going to ask him about the situation. He's a police officer that responded to this. I'm just going to ask him a couple questions. And then like, he kind of like put a camera behind him so you can kind of see like his conversation with his dad. And he calls his dad and he's like, hey dad, like, so what happened that day? Like, what'd you see? And the dad's like, really? You're going to ask me about it? And he's like, yeah, like, what'd you see that day? And he's like, I can't talk about it. And then like, he looks back the camera like, no way, dude. Like, for real. He's like, no, dad, like, seriously. Like, what happened? What'd you see? And he's like, I'm telling you, I can't talk about it. And I don't know how
Damn.
legit that is, but his dad looked like a police officer. He had the look. But I mean, I don't know if it was staged, scripted. It looked like a genuine conversation, but anything for clout. Like I said, there are people that have come out and admitted that they've made fake, tellings of their encounter. And that's what's
Yeah.
gonna make everything cloudy. You're gonna have to sift and filter through the fake videos and the people that are legit. And maybe this is all orchestrated to hide what really happened. I mean, I don't know, man. It's very weird, very strange. It kind of reminds me of remember that Tiffany Gomez, that motherfucker ain't real girl. Like she went
Oh, yeah,
super
yeah.
quiet for so long, and then when she came out, she's just like, "Oh yeah, I just had a freak out, and it was very embarrassing. And by the way, I have a business if you guys want some business help." Like it's just
So
very
sorry.
weird. Yeah, this is one of those weird clips that I saw too. There's like some weird filter going on with this video. Yeah, that one's creepy.
Why is it 16 pixels? Damn, those are some tall ass people.
Bro, that's just Kevin Durant and his homies. Those are all basketball players, bro. That's
That was another thing that I saw people because you mentioned it earlier that like if it was aliens kind of popping in and out of like being able to see them and stuff, whether like a portal, whatever it was, not being able to record and things like that. I heard that explanation, but I also heard another one where it was saying that supposedly people that were there were saying that their phones were confiscated. That to me, I was like, well,
wow.
I feel like, yeah, like I don't know how much I buy into that, because that would be like a huge like logistics nightmare. Like, how do you get people their phones back? And you would think that like there would be like hundreds, if not thousands, of people going on TikTok and stuff being like, I had to go buy this phone because they took my phone and they never gave it back and things like that. And like, that just seems like a whole logistics nightmare. But again, it's so weird that there's like no footage from inside. Like,
Yeah.
that's what I don't get. It's like
I don't necessarily buy that footage either. That one with the three beings. There's something about
Yeah.
it that just kind of, it feels very like it almost looks like altered. Like it has like some kind of weird color filtering going on, and then the way people are standing like doesn't really match up either. That's creepy as hell.
Yeah, this is, xenomorph
Bro,
alien.
that's one of those Dead Space aliens.
Yeah, dude, that imagine seeing that in real life.
Oh, hell no.
No.
It's got tapeworms too, like that bear.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like, there's literally no footage of anything happening.
Oh, what the?
Shit.
Oh my god! No, bro.
Jesus.
Oh my god, Chad, we can't show that.
Damn, he got wrecked. Sorry. Yeah, but going back to, it's like there's
Bro.
there was so much footage of what's happening outside, of different angles, people leaving the mall, obviously the police response, and there's nothing of inside. It's so weird. I don't buy the official story for sure. I definitely do think something else happened.
There he
whether
is,
it's
right there.
aliens or
there he
Yeah,
is,
like,
right there, right there.
the first 4K footage of
Finally, finally,
alien.
we got him.
But yeah, it's super weird. I don't think we're gonna find out what actually happened. I think they're gonna stick to the story of it was just a bunch of crazy teens and fireworks and sticks and stuff, and there's nothing else to look into. But I don't buy it. I wouldn't be surprised if we see something else like this happen again. Aliens are real, and they took over. They took over Miami.
Yep,
They're here.
they're here. And they already visited Las Vegas. They had fun, and then they came to Miami for the sunshine and the weather. They're here, guys. You just gotta accept it.
Dude, first Las Vegas, then Miami. You know what's next? It's either New York or it's LA.
Gotta be LA.
I'll if something happens in LA, I promise I will go down there and we'll do our first IRL stream, and I'll get to the bottom of it.
You'd be like, Jabuzo reporting live from the alien invasion.
Oh man. But yeah, that's super interesting. So I always love alien talk and anything related to alien stuff. It's always, at the very least, you know, it's just interesting and it's cool to look at. It doesn't hurt anyone, so
They're fun. They're fun to talk about.
yeah. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all the topics we have for you guys today. I don't want to keep you too much longer, AB. I know you got to stream after this and all that. So yeah, that's been our first episode of the Beyond Mobile podcast for 2024. Again, hopefully the first of many. If you guys did enjoy, yeah. If you guys did enjoy this episode, then please make sure to leave a like on it on both AB and I's channels. It really does help us out and lets us know that we should keep doing this. And if you guys have any suggestions for topics you would like to see us cover in the next one, then obviously leave them in the comments down below. If you're watching this on my channel and you have not checked out AB, please make sure to do so. He's an awesome content creator and a good friend of mine. So please make sure to do that. Oh my god! I always forget that one's in the sound.
I gotta add more. I gotta add more sussy ones.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, guys. Thank you to Jaboozle. Make sure you guys go check him out. Subscribe to him. He's an awesome content creator. Anything Warzone Mobile, Call of Duty, Valorant, mobile gaming, just gaming in general. Jaboozle is that guy. Help him get to 25K. And yeah, thank you so much, Jab. It's always a pleasure recording these with you, bro. It's like literally just talking to a homeboy, just chilling and talking to a homeboy. It's literally what this is. Thank you, bro.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, thank you, dude. It's always super fun, man. All right, guys. Peace.
All right, see you guys later. Peace.